What's up, everyone? I am JJ, and this is my studio partner, David. And we wanted to show you a little bit about one of the MVPs that we have built called Homemade. We worked with a fantastic entrepreneur for this MVP located in DC. Her name is Mackenzie, and she has been building this two or three sided marketplace. What would you say,
Yeah.
David?
I would say
Two
it's a three-sided marketplace. There's an admin involved. Yeah.
three-sided marketplace connecting larger scale event hosters, so like enterprises, universities, things like that, that want to serve a local and diverse menu to their attendees. And in the process, connecting with diverse and local caterers, and they kind of join forces to maybe, serve 200 plates, but in a combined way. So kind of helping out smaller businesses in the area while
Yeah.
helping them fulfill larger orders that they might not already be able to fulfill by themselves.
Yeah. And maybe also cottage industries. There may be people cooking out of their house. They don't have a website. They may not have another way to take an order. This is their food menu process. They're also going to be adding holiday gift boxes as well. So another type of product in addition to this. But this was a really complicated process
Yeah.
because we're dealing with lots of different parties. There was the food entrepreneur, right? That's what we were calling them. These are the chefs, the cooks, the bakers, people making the goods. There were the customers, the people ordering the food, needing an event. These are folks that are probably not generally event coordinators. They may be a secretary, they may be administrator, they may be a professor at a university who just want something similar to a DoorDash or a Postmates, but they want to order from something local and not just
Yeah.
a Panera bread or something that they can find online. One of the interesting things about this, as opposed to like a DoorDash or a Postmates, is you can actually order from multiple restaurants all at the same time. So
Without
normally, if
even
I
doing it.
yeah, without going in with one payment, one event delivery, the whole thing gets coordinated. It's a really cool value add that you can't really do with any of the services online. That actually proposed its own little challenge because now you have to create these orders where you have sub orders, right? You don't want one food entrepreneur to know what was ordered from somebody else,
Yeah.
right? And now you're managing these relationships a little bit differently. Data quality, getting people to onboard, all of these things become a challenge. And when you're working with folks that may not have a lot of online or ordering presence, making a seamless experience for them to get started was really important as well.
Yeah. And so what you see on the screen right now is a menu ordering page, right? This is where the food orderer would go and to select the menu items. And so this is a listing of all of the entries in that food entrepreneurs submitted, right? So this is
Yeah.
many different entrepreneurs that have submitted the things that the client can say, okay, I'm going to want a little bit of this, a little bit of this. You could filter by, meats and allergens and all these sorts of things, and then you can
Yeah.
change the quantities, you can add the items, you can see the items details, you could check out who is the entrepreneur behind each. You can read the reviews of such. And then on the right-hand side, you see like your order thus far. And that also includes quantity, cost per item. And on the cost per item, we had several different fields because there would be an actual cost and then there would be the front facing cost based on entrepreneur cost, the marketplace cost, all that kind of thing. And then we had delivery and delivery cost based on locations. All that kind
Yeah.
of stuff came together. So when we submitted an order, many suborders were then created for each of the entrepreneurs on that order, and then additional rules and logic notifying the entrepreneur that they now have an order that they need to fulfill. And here's the amount of money that they're going to make for this order.
There was even one layer on top of this about availability
Oh,
and
right,
minimum order quantity,
right.
right? So when someone would place an order, because these are maybe cottage entrepreneurs that are cooking in their house, they may not be ready to go on a moment's notice. You may have some lead time. They may need a couple days to
Hmm.
make enough empanadas,
Yeah.
or they may have restrictions that say we will only take an order if there are 10 or more items ordered
Mm.
of this quantity. So there were mins and maxes of quantities that were included. Some people were not open every day. Some people had other schedules. And so we had to filter out entrepreneurs and food items that maybe on this or event date were actually unavailable to be ordered, which
Yep.
is also not something you would see on a standard platform online. Everything they just assume everything's open all the time.
Yeah.
And so you'd create this, you'd have this pricing, a bunch of rules on, like you said, the delivery fees based on the order total, based on how many entrepreneurs there were, location, and it can continue to scale. And there are some plans to grow that function in the future. And we even added allergen requirements. What
Mhm.
allergens were in the food and what were certain allergies that the event planner were taking consideration of.
Yeah, there was a lot of filtering happening behind the scenes to actually show the items that need to be shown when they should be shown, based on what you were kind of saying, the dates available. So each of the entrepreneurs have to submit their calendars and their available dates, what are the min and max items for such. All this important logic was happening behind the scenes. And so with each of our MVPs, or at least most of them, we build the design from the ground up. So the client came to us with, here's what we need to do. We spent a week designing the design. What you're seeing right now is one of our Figma designs, but it is pixel perfect in the application. Should you want to go check it out as well, and we'll put the link to that so you can view that as well. But pixel perfect designs in a Figma way that we then convert into Bubble, and then we then make it so this entrepreneur, once we deliver this application, can go in and manage it herself. And I think that's one of the great things about building on Bubble is it's so much easier to manage the technology that we built for you after we build it because we can show you how to quickly get in there, review the database, authenticate as a user so you can see what's going on with that user. We build admin panels for you so you can monitor, in this admin panel, they had a list of users, a list of the orders and the, food items, and then what was going on in the food items. And she had permissions at the order level of accepting this order, denying this order, updating the order, all in an admin panel that's very safe and secure. So there's a lot that went into this complex marketplace ordering application that we're quite proud of, and we could show you the next screen now as well.
Yeah. So this next screen that I'm pulling is the order viewer. Basically, what this was letting any party in this transaction, which there were three, right? There was the orderer, the person placing the order. There was the admin, and then there was the food entrepreneur. There were three people participating in this order in a few different ways. And so each person would have a different view of this order management screen.
Yep.
The food entrepreneur would only see items that they were responsible for delivering, right? We don't want people to worry about creating red velvet cupcakes if all you do is mac and cheese, right? That was not something you needed to see. But the admin wanted to be able to see everything, see
Mm.
all of the interactions, and we actually allowed for an acceptance process. In the traditional ordering world, DoorDash or Postmates, I'll keep using those as reference. When you place an order, the order is accepted, right? They'll say, "Hey, I'm going to take this." I've rarely, if ever, seen an order be rejected.
Mhm.
Um, in this system, there was a way for an entrepreneur to say, "Hey, I'm not going to make this. I don't have time for this. I don't want to accept the order," or "I'm out of certain ingredients. I want to change the quantity,"
Mhm.
or "I need to make a swap," or "I'll take some of these items, but not all of them. Hey, I'm out of it." And so there was a communication process and an alert system that would inform the admin, "Hey, this item was removed," or "This item needed to be changed," or "The quantity was changed." They could approve it, they could communicate with the customer, and there was a little bit of a cycle that happened every time changes were made that would then finalize on the order. We had to build it in a way that you could preserve the history. You would know
Mhm.
what the original item was and then make a change so that you could see what was being compared, right?
Mhm.
If you had to remove the wings and mac and cheese and you're replacing it with ribs and mac and cheese, you wanted to know what the original item was and what it was changed to and how pricing was changed, right? What
Mhm.
did it matter? How is this involved? Leave notes, all of these different things. And this had to be done with notifications. A change was made. It had to be tracked by the admin so that, making sure that these folks that may not be online every day looking at this system were following up. that they were accepting things in a timely manner, and that they were pushing these orders through the process, moving everything out of a spreadsheet where things were not linked together. There was a lot of manual procedures that became really hard to scale the operation, now became automated. Now we're just a click of a button in a table
Mhm.
instead of bouncing around between a few different automations or screens in an Airtable.
Yeah, so what you're seeing is, again, a really simple, beautiful design that we made for them, but with a ton of backend functionality and rules, making sure that the people that are their user role that we're serving is seeing only the right thing and nothing more. So a really simplified way, because this user doesn't normally use a lot of technology. We have a user persona on a mobile first device, meaning they are normally on a mobile device. And so we had to make sure it was optimized for that persona. And then we also had the enterprise user, the orderer, normally on a desktop, make sure it's entered for that. So taking into account the customer, the persona, all of the things that we did in our prep process with Mackenzie, the entrepreneur behind the CEO behind this company, we really went into the weeds. And Mackenzie's a very organized and well prepared individual, which was really helpful for this process because there were so many details that we needed to know. Right. And she
Yeah.
also had the benefit of the doubt of running this business for a while in like an Airtable fashion, where eventually she's like, okay, this is working. I know this business inside and out. Here are the rules that we need for each of our pages. And she was able to tell us that. And then we converted it into technology. And
Yeah.
I think this MVP took us what, 6 to 7 weeks,
I
seven,
think
8 weeks?
something with 7 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
there's
that
a
was
yeah,
including the scoping, the design. We delivered it to her in about 7 weeks. And it was actually our first MVP through the studio and really proud of what we were able to build for her.
yeah. One of the things you see on this screen, you may have noticed, maybe not on the last menu screen, are these stars. So we actually also included a survey and rating system on these items
Mhm.
so that after an event came through, you'd be able to build this dynamic survey based on what was ordered and then include the information for everyone else ordering down the line, how people like this food and any notes to give to the entrepreneur about what they love, how helpful it is, all of these different things. It was a really thorough and comprehensive application.
Yeah. So really proud of what we built here. If you want us to work on your project, you can contact us. We will put the link in the description, or it's JJ at studionocode.com, David at studionocode.com.
Studio-nocode.com. Yeah.
We would love to meet you and discuss what you need for your application, the requirements, what we can do for you, the value that we can provide.
Mhm.
We love working with entrepreneurs, founders that want to bring an idea to life or already have a business and now need to apply technology to that. And normally we arrive within a finished product from design, zero design, all the way to launching an MVP in about 4 to 8 weeks. And so if that sounds something of value to you, please let us know. But otherwise, we will be back with more portfolio examples in the future.
Yeah. Thanks so much.